Hello, live people.
Okay.
I mean, yes, we are alive, but no one's going to be watching live because I don't think anyone pays attention to when my thing goes live.
That is fair.
We're so glad actually is paying attention.
Guys, this is my favorite D&D campaign.
I would hope you're part of it.
So it was really funny. One of the first ones that I was trying to find a different one for some help. But it was Mary asking how many people were watching because you were like super interested. Well, the one that I had been looking at, there had been 21 views up to that point.
Probably mostly
I can't
mine.
imagine that was all.
Imagine that was all us.
Anyway, okay. So, you should be proud of me.
I am.
I wrote our pet adventure. We're going to start with the pet adventure from Atlantis. It's very short, but it is very funny, and you guys will be very amused.
Same. I was hoping that that's why you were asking the Nene Goose's name the other day.
I'm just imagining now in Jen's notes there's a bunch of places that say the goose that are now crossed out with the name.
So I hadn't even written it down. I had just paused and I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it was Kitty Pella, but also that's my name in Hawaiian. So I was like, I wouldn't be that pretentious, would I? But maybe if I was caught off guard because somebody just goes, "What's your name?" out of nowhere, it would have been the only name that I would have thought of outside of
You out of nowhere?
like
That is the
Moana.
central part of my
So,
character. How is it out of nowhere? I've been doing that the entire campaign, Jen. You should be prepared.
I think that's exactly what got called out when that happened.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the Goose specifically, but there was another time where Aaron specifically calls you out on that because he's like, she does this every time. What do you mean you're not prepared?
Yeah, there's certain things that are for sure in our campaigns. One,
I'm not.
Brianna will always ask for a name. Two, our sly elf friend will always try and make the critter his friend. And three, I always try to punch it first.
And four, our boat will always sink on the ocean.
And both are always sink.
The other one, 5. Tooth is always going to put rocks in people's shoes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Rena will be looking for rent.
Anyway.
Right. You guys ready for this?
And 7, Adea's probably building something, or wishing she was building something.
Thinking about building something. So she's obviously distracted.
In 5, Erden is going to attract the attention of some unwanted deity.
Yep.
He must be a really pretty guy.
Yes.
Everyone's infatuated with him.
Yeah, like the unspoken rules of the campaign. I love those.
Well, everyone except
The
Tom.
physical laws of the D&D campaign universe.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So, I have entitled this The Mini Adventures of the Pets of Fated Whims. And because I imagine more may come up at some point. Atlantis is this title. So, Everald sat on her haunches and watched her strange two-legged friends walk away. She still wasn't sure why she couldn't help. It wasn't fair. She wanted to stay with George. What?
Oh.
Time to see what this place is really like, Lunch squeaked before dashing off. Wait! Friend said stay here! Everald snorted, chasing after the mouse. Lunch paused and folded his front paws. Seriously? You were just gonna sit here all day and wait? Friend said stay here. Everald said again, but with less conviction. Lunch rolled his eyes and leaned around to look at Kitty Pella. Are you gonna stay here and be a bore too? I am not a boar. I am a goose, and we thrive on adventure. Great! Let's go see what a moa is before they start racing. Lunch hopped on all fours and dashed off toward the paddocks. Hey! Oh. Well, we didn't make it very far. So, be proud of me, Marco, because I wrote our pet adventures from Atlantis.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start over because I didn't get very far, and you're going to be amused by all of this.
Okay.
So as I was telling them, I have entitled this The Mini Adventures of the Pets of Fated Whims. And because I imagine there'll be more, this one in particular is titled Atlantis. So, Everald sat on her haunches and watched her strange two-legged friends walk away. She still wasn't sure why she couldn't help. It wasn't fair. She wanted to stay with George. Welp, time to see what this place is really like, Lunch squeaked before dashing off. Wait! Friend said stay here! Everald snorted, chasing after the mouse. Lunch paused and folded his front paws. Seriously? You were just gonna sit here all day? And wait? Friend said stay here, Everald said again, but with less conviction. Lunch rolled his eyes and leaned around her to look at Kinnipella. Are you gonna stay here and be a bore too? I am not a bore. I am a goose. And we thrive on adventure. Wait, let's go see what a moa is before they start racing. Lunch hopped on all fours and dashed off toward the paddocks. Kinnipella spread her wings and flew after him. Everald snorted. She looked around at all the people entering the arena. Not one of them seemed to notice the mouse or the goose. She sat back on her haunches. She would be the good one. She would do as she was told. What was a moa? Was it dangerous? Did Lunch just make himself lunch along with Kinnipella? Truffle rot, she muttered, getting up and chasing after the other two. As she came around the building where the paddocks were, she hit the brakes and squealed. Her eyes grew wide. Apparently, moas were very, very big birds. Kinnipella was perched on the ground next to one that looked very sad. Lunch was nowhere to be seen. Had it eaten the mouse and Kinnipella was scolding it? What would small green friend say? Everald approached slowly. She clumsily climbed through between the slats in the fence. A few moas watched her but soon lost interest. Good. As she got closer, she saw Kinnipella lean down, give the moa's cheek a little preen. Damn! Everald squealed and reared back as Lunch popped out of nowhere. Don't do that, she snapped at him. Sorry, Lunch said, not sounding sorry at all. He looked at Kinnipella. So, what did it say? She just lost her rider, Kinnipella said. Have some compassion. Hey, I have loads of compassion. I just don't speak Paleo-Avian. What? Everald asked. It's a dead bird language, Lunch said. Kinnipella shook her head. He's not speaking a dead language. It's island avian. Mammals. So self-centered. If we weren't so important, you wouldn't have learned our language, Lunch countered. Don't be stupid. The moment a people claims you, you start speaking domesticus. You're speaking pet.
Oh,
How dare you? I'm no one's pet. But you live in small green friend's pouch, Everald said. Yes, but that does not make me his pet, Lunch argued. Does he feed you? Kinnipella asked. Not really, Lunch replied. I eat whatever falls into the bag. You mean whatever he drops in the bag, Kinnipella argued. I meant what I said. Lunch closed his eyes and folded his paws. Do you let him pet you? His eyes snapped open. You can't prove anything. Kinnipella shook her head again. Great lawyer you would make, she muttered. Thank you. Everald snorted. I do not think that was meant to be nice. Of course not. Geese are mean. But I am going to take it as a compliment, otherwise I'll have to give her rabies, Lunch said. First off, birds can't get rabies. Second, you don't have rabies, so you can't give it to anyone. Kinnipella countered. Oh no! Our people, Everald squealed. If they see us, we'll be in so much trouble. Quick, this way, Lunch shouted. Everald did not want to follow him, but in the moment she had fairly little choice. She and Kinnipella dashed through the nearest fence slats and into the nearest plant cover. Odd. He didn't remember seeing this much brush around the paddocks. Where are we? Kinnipella asked. These are not island plants. No, they are mainland plants, Everald said, as conifers began to pop up around them. Shouts erupted around them. The animals paused. Hunters! Everald snorted. Hide! She took a step back and felt herself get hoisted up high above the forest floor along with Kitty Pella. The goose honked loudly in surprise as her body slid into Everald. It's a trap! No, I thought it was a nest, Kitty Pella hissed. No, it's not the time to be rude, Everald snapped. We need to break out of this net. I thought we were hiding, Lunch said as he raced up the outside of the net. Or did we hang that idea? Shut up and start chewing, Kitty Pella snapped. The human voices were getting closer. Lunch rolled his eyes. Please? Kitty Pella reached her head out and snapped at the mouse. He leapt out of the way. Fine, fine. Jeez, I'll get you out. And he began to chew. It took a long time, too. At one point, he paused to take a break, and Kitty Pella hissed at him. Everald's ears flicked as she heard movement behind her. Then she heard voices. Humans. She couldn't understand what they were saying, but she recognized Boar, because that was what her friends called her, and Mockus, which she had heard hunters use before. Ah, Lunch sighed. What? Everald squealed. Want the good news or the bad news? Good news? They think you are a god called Mockus. Okay, that's not so bad. So what's the bad news? He's a god of plenty, so they plan to turn you into a sacrificial feast in thanks. What? Everald squealed. You're making that up, Kitty Pella said at the same time. You don't think they would eat her? Lunch asked. Oh no, humans love pig meat. I just don't believe that they would eat the god they worship, Kitty Pella said. Who cares? Either way, they want to eat me! Everald squealed and writhed, trying to break free where Lunch had chewed the netting. An ethereal bang suddenly filled the air. So kind of, oh. The humans and the animals froze in place. The temperature dropped and a thick, curling fog rolled in. Suddenly, the humans screamed and bolted from the animals. Weird weather we're having, Lunch commented. I'm going to eat you, Kitty Pella snapped. No, you won't. Please don't eat mice. Watch me. Suddenly, a ghostly white hound appeared out of the fog and bayed. It sat on its haunches and looked up at the trapped animals. Hello, nice hunting dog, Everald said. Just tell your humans to go somewhere else. That would be great. I really would not taste very good. I do not have humans, the dog said in an unearthly voice. Well, can you help us out then? Lunch asked. I have called my master. I thought you didn't have a human, Kitty Pella said after a beat. That is correct. Then who is your master? Oh my. We're in quite a pickle, aren't we? A soft, deep voice said. A man, at least he looked like a man, came striding out of the fog. He was tall, with skin the color of darkness. An animal skin cloth hung from his hips, but he wore no other clothing. Dark white antlers sprung from his head, and his white eyes were pupilless. He carried a pronged wooden staff in one hand. He should have been terrifying, but the animals only felt relief. The man stretched his staff out and cut a rope. The rope snapped and released the net, sending them crashing to the ground. Everald leapt to her feet and shook herself. Kitty Pella honked indignantly and began to fix her bent feathers. Lunch dashed up one of Everald's legs and stared at the stranger. Who are you? He demanded. Why, I am the god of wildlife, among other things. I heard Miss Everald's cry for help. You are a long way from home, Mr. Lunch. Danior will worry. He'll be fine. Who is Danior? Kitty Pella hissed at Everald. The boar shrugged. In fact, George and Brina would be most distraught to find you not in Atlantis, so I shall return you. Try not to wander off again. The man waved his hand, and a portal appeared through the fog. There was the carriage, just as they had left it. Everald squealed, "Thank you," and dashed through. Soon they were all settled back in the carriage. Does this happen a lot? Kitty Pella asked. Everald nodded. Usually friends here. Crooked feathers, Kitty Pella hissed. And that is where it ends.
Amazing.
Admit,
Loved it.
proud about that, the goose.
I
I'm
have
so
Goose
not surprised.
personality.
Lunch has adopted Tooth's personality a little bit, yes.
Yeah. And then there's Pella, who's totally not Brina's personality.
No, she's sassy. And
And
everyone's
then
just like, I want to be good, and you two are awful, but I can't just let you wander off because friends be sad if you aren't here.
what I find funny is that I feel like me as a person, I'm most like Everald.
Yeah. It was very. It was a very amusing write. I was like, I had
love
to
that
throw
they-
in some puns and.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and now Lunch has begun his journey to being Tooth Lawyer.
And it's all because Katie Pella made a crack at him about what a good lawyer he'd make.
Well, I can
I just
definitely
love
say that this video is being given 2 titles.
I love
Mini adventure from the past.
that they ended up in a portal out of Atlantis.
Yes, so they managed to find. You guys were right next to an exit. You didn't know it. 'Cause I just thought it'd be really funny to have that happen. It's just like, you guys were so close.
The thing is, we weren't
So
even
close.
trying to go there.
Well, they ended up basically back in Gaul because that's where they worship Marcus, who is the god of boars. And they would have big feasts where they ate boar to celebrate this god. And I was like, that's hilarious. She's gonna love that. And then I was like, there's gotta be a god of animals, and apparently it's also the god of death. So
Well, and as soon as you said the ethereal bane of hounds, I'm like, I know which god this is. Yay!
I was kind of confused when it wasn't the god I thought it was. The same god.
oh
Oh.
Like, oh, it's the god of wildlife. I suppose that makes more sense, but.
I have wildlife as well. That's awesome.
yeah.
That is kind of cool.
Oh.
Alright, now for the main event. Last time with the Whims of Fate. Rhoda and Amor continued their strategizing to prevent the death of the Queen of Britannia. Henry got too much information to be useful. Brina went on a quest to learn how to send her letters to the other world while avoiding bothering Tong, and was both successful and unsuccessful in that quest. And I am blinking. Erden began physical therapy. Oh. And Tong began mental therapy with Taliesin.
Taliesin.
And this week on the Whims of Fate.
I'm just gonna tell you, I do not expect to be anybody's therapist of any kind at any point in my life. Except maybe for my own children. Oh, hold on.
So I believe where we left off last time was
Dun dun
Brina-
dun.
I believe where we left last time was Brina being pushed towards Tong to begin learning.
Yeah.
I heard you say Amber was strategizing with Rod. I was like, oh crap, I forgot I have to play both of them.
Okay.
Everyone
Alright.
being here means we're doing something important, and I should have checked in on what we were doing.
We're strategizing how to save the queen.
It was like whatever Idea was doing probably wasn't that significant to the overall plot, so it's okay. She's probably still working on the necklace.
Yeah, last we saw, Idea was talking with Cadmus,
hmm
and then Brina came and talked to them, and
Right, Adea's slowly trying to figure out this whole what do other people fight for thing or something like that.
Yes,
Mhm.
that is true. And then I know because I had asked Cadmus if he knew how to send a letter. I also asked Airden if he knew how to send a letter. But I know because I know part of how we're wanting to try and help with the queen is to infiltrate Londinium, but we have to be really careful because certain people can't
Well,
Mhm.
be seen there.
what Rada and Amor planned was basically like putting like 2 people in the roads into Londinium to intercept them.
Yeah.
But it was basically say like, well, we need more information, so we're going to have to talk with the NPCs.
Yeah, and so we're gearing up for the meeting to be able to learn more about what we can do.
Did this discussion also cover a bunch of a bunch of us are still wanted people in Londinium and only like 2 of us aren't?
Yes,
Yes.
because Dea and Tong are kind of the most likely to be able to send in because they are unknowns and Tong could easily pass herself off as a dignitary.
It sounds like even more of a doom plan than it did when we discussed it. But it didn't sound like a good plan then.
But that you're right.
But I think the most important thing, at least right now, is how do we send the letters to the other world?
Yeah, that was which from what it is that you have to have something
From the place you're sending to
from
act
the
as a
place that
guide.
you're sending to be able to mail it home, which is consumed.
Well, it acts as a guide.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that
Well, yeah, it's not going to magically return to you when when the letter gets there. So it's technically consumed.
I mean, there's potentially a way that you could work around that.
I just have it in my notes that it's consumed.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was going to say I have a vague recollection of discussing it with Jen that anything that we would send send it to a certain place would have been consumed.
Yes.
Because the last notes that I have are like, okay, so what am I going to use to send my letter home?
What happened to everyone's faces? It's weird just looking at pictures.
Let's see how the camera is. I haven't actually figured out if it's buried since I put the new computer together.
Yeah, well, my roommate moved out, so now we have a clear view of my background.
Nice.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, how did finals go?
Decently easy.
Yeah, I put a new computer together a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just got a new monitor, so I'm actually using my desktop now because my laptop is now broken.
No!
Dang.
Why's your laptop broken?
Well, I don't really know. I had it in my backpack coming home from work one day. Like, I just used it at work, took the train home, got home, pulled it out, and I had a bunch of pieces fly off into my face, and it looked like one of the hinges had just, like, literally come undone. But they said it would cost more to get it fixed than it would to just buy a new computer.
Yeah,
Because
fixing laptops is hardly ever worth it.
yeah, well, it was starting to strip the wiring. So even if they could put the hinge back, but it might damage that and then my screen wouldn't work anyway.
Huh.
So yeah, I was like, okay, that's not really worth it.
No.
So I may end up just getting a tablet instead of a laptop since I've got a perfectly capable desktop.
Now that you have your new monitor.
And since I'm not a college student anymore, I don't really have a need for the laptop because I don't have to and I'm only using it for when I travel, I'm only using it for music students. And so if I just put it as a tablet, it's easier to put on a music stand anyway.
Makes sense.
So, yeah.
I was gonna say I still use a laptop, but that's just because it works well for me. So there you go. Now you're right side up, Marco.
There it goes. That was weird.
My
Yeah.
laptop's still broken.
Pieces.
It lies in wait to die. Alpha,
Yeah.
why are you sniffing the door?
We'll just have to accept that we can't see her face because I took my camera back for my desktop.
I mean, I can turn my camera on. It's just it's just not working. That's you can't see anything. That's
I
my
can see your
hand.
hand.
Yeah,
I can see your
but
hands.
my camera for some bizarre reason just makes everything super dark.
Yeah, you can't really see her.
Yeah,
It's
so
so-
that's why I started using Jennifer's camera when original thing had died. Because that's my camera for some reason like, no, we'll go back and Myra would be like, turn on the lights. I'm like, I have lights on. Jennifer can attest I have lights on. I just
it's gone.
it keeps me in the dark.
Okay.
Alright,
So
do you have anything from your homeland?
I have some parchment that I brought from home. Would that work? I mean, that's what I wrote the letter on, but I don't want the letter to be consumed before she can read it, obviously.
I mean, it's acting as a guide. I mean,
I can make an envelope for the letter with out of the parchment.
yes, that would probably be the best option.
Okay.
Are there any flowers around?
I mean, it's spring. There's lots of flowers.
All right. How many letters are you sending back?
I think I have two.
But are they going to the same destination?
Well, I can pretty much send both to my best friend, and she'll make sure that the one to my brother gets to him because I'm not sure if he's at home or if he's out on patrol.
All right. And Tom will pick two, or no, I'll pick 3 flowers, and we'll basically insert the flowers into her 2 letters and give you the 3rd one. Just in case that the people that you want to send this to want to send it back. Or send something back.
That is a very good idea. Thank you, Tom.
She'll get a look on her face. When I pull out a piece of paper, begin writing, and stop. And say, actually, this would probably be better if you were to write it. My handwriting's terrible. And she'll wave her hand over the piece of paper, and the writing on it will vanish. Since you didn't know, then the people you're going to be sending this to don't know.
Pardon?
I take it that since you didn't know how to send letters between the human world and the other world, that the people you're sending these to don't know either, correct?
Likely not, but I can put a postscript on there.
Yeah. At least explain how. Well, make notes as you're doing this. And she's going to teach Brina how to mail letters while sending her own letters in the process.
I just have this image of basically like what after doing whatever Tong has explained to me to do, like having the letters like, in my hand and then just doing poop.
I was imagining like some sort of
Uh-oh.
ritual.
What happened, Megan? He said, I don't know. Itself off. Well, alright. Anyway.
Audacity.
The audacity of this thing.
The audacity of technology to not work.
What? Okay. So, we've got our letters mailed. Mailed. Basically, once everybody has had, adequate rest and everything that they need, then Uther will call in a special meeting back in the fancy tent.
Oh boy, you got set back up again. I guess this will be our meeting.
Yes. They had some of the soldiers spend the day putting that up so that they'd have some place to go where others would know, don't go there. You are not invited.
No.
Makes sense.
None for you, Ruddy
Yeah.
Roach.
Basically. Okay. So you guys are sent a message via the wind through Gorlois's voice to come to the tent. Basically after there's been supper, which at this point isn't much because you guys are kind of separated from the main campus.
After
I lean closer to somebody and kind of jab and go, "Hey, do you hear that? Is the wind speaking, or are there druids about?"
It's both. It's very much both.
Very much both.
Like, and whoever's like eating with Erden, he's actually sharing a couple of the baguettes he has.
Oh, I'm there. You know I'm there.
I can just see like, ow, ow, ow. Here we go. Right, who else thought some? Like, okay, ow.
No, he probably like brought his bag over, just like shook it a few times, and then they just kind of like separated upwards because they're the least dense material.
Nuggets. Oui, oui. Yeah, so after you guys have had your fill, you'll go to the tent, and you'll find the usual culprits there. You'll have Gorlos will be the one who greets you when you enter. You will see Uther and Aurelius having a very heated conversation, but it doesn't seem to have anything to do with what you guys are talking about. It seems to be a game that they had played, not even recently, but some time ago, and they're still arguing about who won, and like sounds like maybe Aurelius thinks Uther cheated, and Uther's like, I don't do that. You're just bad at the game. Typical cousinly argument while they're waiting for other people. And Emrys will be in there, and he is just like, he's sitting here kind of like this, just like, shut up. This is the stupidest thing to have an argument over, and I'm like, so over it. It's just like, why am I here?
Emrys would like, deliver me from idiots. Deliver me from idiots.
Like, I don't want to be here.
Actually, if Erden is able to hear enough of it, actually he'll just cut in regardless if it's true or not. Just say, actually, I'm pretty sure I won that.
I'm pretty sure what?
I'm pretty sure I won that.
They'll both freeze, look at you. You weren't there. This was at the palace.
Oh, you find it. Oh, So you guys agree on something. Great. Now who actually won?
Like, you do that, and you just see Emrys just like look up at you like, seriously? Okay.
Come now, we have serious business to talk about.
Is this everyone?
Looks like it.
Yes, this is everyone.
Ugh,
At least.
thank the gods. Okay, you two, shut up. We have things to do. Definitely the tone of. Let's get this over with.
I'm the adult here. Listen to me, damn it.
All right. Calm down. You could lighten up a little bit. Oh, deja vu. I feel like I've said this like half a dozen times to you before. Okay. Whew. Weird. All right. Let's get started. So cousin might be in trouble. Yeah. So, we have some vague information that we've managed together.
Anything useful?
And by vague, I guess we'll find out. Emrys, they were your little critters. They're not my little critters, they're just animals. Never mind. It's fine.
Okay, George.
Animals?
Yes, I've had ravens out scouting Londinium. Just in general, I've been keeping track of the city, since that is where Constance is located. And nobody really trusts him, so I was taking the liberty upon myself to, make sure he wasn't outright running the country into the ground.
Makes sense.
And for a while there, yes, it felt like he was doing an okay job, but then he started negotiating with Saxons, and yes, my thoughts exactly. He doesn't know enough about Saxons. He thinks he does, but he has not had to deal with them like the mainland has. And many of his advisors who came from Gaul tried to tell him not to make a deal with them. Obviously, he listened so well. And then he made an interesting alliance by marrying Rowena. And now I understand that this is fairly normal for nobility, but seriously, maybe you should think about taking it out of the family. Look at what it's done to you. He just kind of looks at Aurelius or Uther. Rude, my friend.
No, he has a point.
He
That's
does have a
Hunter
point.
Inbreeding is terrible. Just look what happened to the Egyptians.
Who?
The Egyptians, didn't you hear? Open your ears.
You don't know who the Egyptians are any more than we do.
You don't know this. You assume I don't know who the Egyptians are.
Do you know who the Egyptians are?
Maybe, maybe not. You'll never know.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Can I roll an insight check on this?
I love D&D. You know this? I don't know. Roll for it. Natural 1.
Oh shit! I have to go online and find my paperwork. Hold on.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to roll insight.
Oh, it's so far.
Just so you all know, this is a really high DC. So I have to test it.
15.
What am I rolling again?
Intelligence.
Oh,
guess text-
sweet. I got a not natural 20.
And
A 20, but not natural.
Yeah,
Yes.
modified 20.
you
Modified
are pretty
20.
you are pretty damn sure that they are related to the Amazons.
The Egyptians?
Like, you're pretty sure that they come from pretty far east, but also kind of south.
Oh.
He's definitely not mixing them up with Phoenicians at all.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, like, wait a minute.
I was just like, this is
Wait a
silly.
minute. Things are definitely not adding up here.
So I rolled a 15 on insight to see whether or not I could tell Tooth was lying about.
You're pretty sure that Tooth thinks he knows who the Egyptians are. What was your insight, Burden?
18.
18. You're pretty sure he thinks he knows, but you're also pretty sure that he's probably not thinking the right people. Like, you've just got this feeling like something's
not.
like you feel like he's going, yeah, but like there's a part of his voice that just ever so slightly he's like, yeah. But he's very good at masking it, so you're like, maybe not.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Emrys, on the other hand, just rolls his eyes and he's just like, okay, that's not important right now at all.
No.
The point is that we had this alliance made, but the Saxons want to have an actual claim to the throne, and the best way to do that is to oust the queen and replace her with one of their own. And knowing your brother, because he's an idiot, he would just roll right along with it and not think it through.
I'm surprised he isn't just marrying twice at the same time.
Oh, no. He's a very good Christian boy. He can't do that.
I know. Constantinople.
But-
Are you okay, Erden?
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he is secretly sleeping with one already and just not telling anyone, but the crows have not noticed anything out of the ordinary, the mice have not noticed anything out of the ordinary, and the brownies have not said anything like that has happened. Nobody snuck in or out or one way or the other. So it seems unlikely, but he does also travel. So when he goes to visit the Saxons, who knows what's going on? And
Is this
frankly,
not too irrelevant?
huh?
Is this not too irrelevant to the task at hand?
It is because we don't know if there's already somebody in place to replace her. They are not going to try and do anything to the queen unless they have a backup already.
So it
And
gives
if
us
he's
a
not
time.
seeing anyone, if he's seeing someone, they would just use her because she's already got the in. If he's not, then we've still kind of got a question mark of whether they even have anybody at this point in mind.
Well,
So it gives us more of a timeline of when we need to act by?
Yes. Right now, things are still kind of up in the air, but we'd like to get ahead of it before it does come down. And at this point, I think I've exhausted all of the animal help I can use because, as smart as ravens are, they're still kind of dumb. So they can only tell me so much. And brownies like to keep out of people's business. So trying to get them to act as spies is like pulling teeth. Which is why we need somebody else to go in. And it can't be any of us because Constance will instantaneously try to kill his brother. And
everyone else is actively at war.
yes.
Meanwhile,
Pretty
I'm
sure
supposed
meanwhile, we
there
are
we
a
were
bunch
things
of
done.
no ones. We are a bunch of nameless mercenaries, in essence.
But honestly, I'd go in and just blow the whole thing to smithereens, but I've been told that I need to be a little more cautious than that, and I'm supposed to be covering, keeping it hidden that I'm actually alive. Don't ask me why. My king has told me so. No need to use that tone. There's a very good reason why, and you know why, and stop being a baby. Jeez. Terrible leader. All you do is
Right,
complain.
we're a bunch of unknown mercenaries, but if I recall correctly, the last time we were there, we were all exiled.
Except
for George, but he also had a wanted poster.
Yeah.
And
I don't feel like I ever got a wanted poster. I feel kind of left out.
got a wanted
As
poster
I-
for a different reason.
As I understand, most of you are Fae. So you can do that fancy glamour thing and change that glamour, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can.
I can do one better. I can actively change my physical form for an hour.
How come you've never done this before?
Because it's never been important.
I feel hurt, let down. I can't talk to you right now, Rada.
Luther just kind of looks at you and he goes, not to be rude, but aren't you always kind of down compared to everybody else?
Henry's eyes go wide, like, oh! And he looks down.
Sabrina's eyes just kind of widen a little bit, but she's like,
Tong like chuckles.
and hey, too.
Aurelius just kind of smacks him like, you can't talk to people like this. This is why you cannot be king yet. We have got to work on your personal skills.
Was that Luther saying that or Everest?
No, that's Aurelius. Aurelius is like smacking down on him. Luther just looks at him and goes, I have excellent people skills. Look at that. The Leprechaun, who are known for not liking to be insulted and will attack people, has done nothing. He laughed.
Check your shoes later.
Don't tell
Check
me
your
I'm a
shoes
bad
now.
You might want to check your shoes, sir.
I can put rocks in them. I don't care. I get rocks in my shoes all the time. I've got holes in my shoes because I haven't been able to fix them.
That sounds dreadful.
It is dreadful, but there aren't a lot of women here who patch things up. And the druids, don't ask them to hem anything. Man, patch
The one-
anything up.
The one person who might be able to fix this problem. Yes, Adea has mending and might actually.
Yes! Yes! He's missing his left shoe.
That's where she was last.
What? Wait. What?
Wait.
No.
I
What did
pulled
you do?
his left shoe out of my bag.
Sebastian Aurelius like looking. It's like shoe. Oh, yeah, he pulls things out of that bag. He's pulled me out of that bag. And the
It's
board.
really weird. Okay.
Several.
So
A lot of things. Back.
I guess the question comes down to Emrys, how is it better for them to be in the city or just outside the city, or maybe have both? What have you noticed about the movements? Well, honestly, both. I think I have some thoughts, and I can make some pretty decent disguises that could last for a little while on you. So I'm thinking having a few within the military there, a centurion or two maybe, somebody within the actual castle, so acting maybe as a servant because they have a lot more liberties. And then maybe some street vendors because they hear a lot as well. At least those three, unless there are some others you guys can think of. I just feel like those three are the ones that tend to hear the most information, and it's all going to be different information that may all be pertinent. Thoughts from those of you who have actually been to Londinium.
Well, tactically speaking, if you want anything done relatively quickly, you'll want people inside the city. If the Saxons are going to do anything, then it's going to be happen inside the city, and it's anything outside is going to be particularly difficult. It's going to be the most difficult.
Do we have any indications as to the goddess who saw right through every disguise that we had to speak of the last time we were?
I believe yesterday, Uther and Erdin went and confirmed that, well,
It's the White Lady.
yeah, they could neither confirm nor deny that the White Lady was in Londinium, from what I could tell.
I guarantee it was her. Especially from descriptions. She's the one who tried to kill me. It'd be just
Definitely
like her.
put that much together, but if she is out and about, it is certainly another problem that we might need to consider.
Well, in that case, we kind of have a couple things going for us. One, her presence is incredibly obvious, at least to me. Also, even though she is a goddess, there's only so many places she can be at the same time. So, unless there's something violently more present than being right next to basically her charge is where she'll be, or at the very least within sight lines. So that's at least some predictability.
Erdin, if I
Well, I
may
So
think I
temple
can.
avoidance is easy enough.
If I may ask, Erdin, how often was she right next to us and we didn't know?
Definitely a few times.
Yeah.
Well,
I may have a
the
way
better
to deal
question
with
is,
her.
did I know that it was her? In which case, several times. But if I did know it was her, then I knew every single time she was next to us.
Which sounds like we have a good suggestion for how to deal with the White Lady.
You
Proceed.
guys are willing to head into the city and do this. I know her sister. And her sister is a bigger target than you guys are. If I can get her to be noisy somewhere far away, she's likely to go and deal with her sister and leave you guys alone.
best guarantee of protection I've heard yet. It's not a guarantee, but it's
It sounds
pretty
better.
sound.
Sounds better than chancing her being in the city.
But we
The
can
other
only use
option
it
is that I
once.
start. That's true. It would only work once. So if we could only do that once, the other option is for me to start allowing myself to be spotted in places and start rumors so that she's paranoid that maybe she didn't actually kill me. And then she's out looking for me instead of you.
Dangerous.
Ooh,
Could be
yes.
dangerously effective.
Didn't Uther say that you weren't supposed to be known to be alive yet?
Not to the general public. Not necessarily to her.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is that if she is in the city, then we basically use you as bait for the long term, and if things go really awry, we go and contact this other goddess.
Basically.
Alright.
And I can make sure that you have direct contact. She's taken a liking to me for some reason. I can't seem to get rid of her.
2 of us have the sending spell.
Well, I've got a direct, if I give you something of hers, you have direct contact with her and she will respond. It's faster than praying or any of those things. It's basically like having a you won't know what a telephone is. I barely knew what that was. Just imagine like you could pick something up and immediately talk to somebody somewhere else in the country. It's exactly what it does.
Well, let's not forget that we also have this, and Tong will pull out the medallion that she plundered. And presumably that this has some significance.
Medallion that she... My brain is drawing a blank. Remind me.
I remember there were some medallions, I can't remember the significance.
It was the medallion that Tong plundered from the Saxon camp that had the seal of the Vortigern.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Stop talking, people.
No! I'm making fun of Genji right now.
We're always making fun of Gingy. We gotta make fun of somebody else now. Can't just always be picking on Gingy.
Well, Genji started it with a spider video.
Okay. Anyway. Yes, medallion. Yeah. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. Okay. Yes, I suppose that could come in handy too. As long as that one was not specifically meant for anyone. And gives away the fact that we've totally annihilated a Saxon army.
I mean,
Okay.
the news is going to spread quickly. I mean,
One way or the other, yes. Well, they don't need to know that you were a part of it. Let me see that medallion. Let me make sure it's not.
she'll hand it over. I didn't detect any magic on it.
Oh, I'm not detecting magic. I'm just making sure there aren't any specific seals or anything embedded anywhere carved in here. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm hoping this is just a general seal, and he'll hand it back. Occasionally, nobility will, have very specific seals that they'll send out to people, and it'll have a special marking on it designated for that person. So if something happens to that person, and somebody else turns up with that seal, they'll know that they did something to that person. Usually it's meant for other nobility, but I don't think there was any in that camp. So.
I'd
But
forgotten
considering
about
I-
that. 200 years. I suppose it's a long time. Plenty of time
Yeah.
to forget things.
True. Anyway, we also the one last thing I did get is that Constance is planning some sort of a banquet. For the start of summer, which will be in a couple of weeks. And that may be a time they try to attack. They may forego that because there might be too many people and it would be very dangerous. On the other hand, they may want the attention to make sure everybody knows, hey, Queen's dead. There's an opening.
Yes, that was what my thought was, is that what
Yeah.
better time to get rid of someone than to say, oh hey, this very important person has gotten very ill and has passed away.
Yes. Exactly. So.
So we need to do something before then. The three areas that we can infiltrate are the market, the army,
Well, those would
and
be,
the court.
and those would be areas that we would be getting information from.
From there, if you feel there are other places you want to infiltrate, do it.
I can think of at least one person in this group that would at least somewhat make a good merchant. However, this area is very patriarchal. And also little ageist, and Tong will say that as she's looking at Adea.
Wait, is Adea here?
I think so, because I think we would have dragged
Yeah.
her along with us.
Yes.
Yeah. All of the PCs should be here.
Somebody managed to get Adea away from Cadmus.
Rada
Or maybe she will.
Rada would have dragged her if she needed to.
Or from her projects. Either way.
So Adea
Did not realize Adea was here.
Paige. Everyone will turn to look at Idea as
Fun makes her comment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Commented that you make a
a
good merchant.
craftsman
That's what I
could
heard was
potentially make a good.
that was patriarchal and a little ageist.
I don't like what that suggests I have to sell.
Gorlos just kind of chuckles and he's like, I'm sorry, for a minute there I thought you were going to start talking about the Roman merchant that you actually do have.
Please, the only thing that I would trust him with is breathing.
Making money.
I forget why he's there.
He runs pretty fast, so they may not catch him.
Sorry, you said he runs pretty fast, and the first thing that popped into my head was the Emperor's New Groove. It's a good thing you're not a big fat guy, or this would be really difficult.
Honestly, and that's what I was thinking when he said, well, he runs fast. And I'm sitting here like, yes, big tubby Tiberius runs fast.
We couldn't catch him.
We were a little busy fighting for our lives when he ran.
This is
Besides, both Brandon and I are very small. How do you expect us to catch someone so big? We could get really hurt.
You have deep pockets. You could have found something.
That aside,
Mm-hmm.
Arthur, I missed Tong's artist comment, to be honest.
Wait, comments about Idea or about Tiberius?
The artist comment that you'd made about Idea, because I was explaining to him why that you thought that Idea would make a good merchant, except for the fact that the society is rather patriarchal and a little ageist.
He does tend to give the airs of a craftsman. And with all that metalwork, could probably pass off as a blacksmith.
Wait. I get to sell swords and like armor? Need more iron.
Bring more
Maybe
wealth.
one day I should actually sell things. So that
Yes, you would get more money to buy more metal to make more things.
Although I think we were supposed to get some here anyways. We did get paid well in Atlantis.
I'm just waiting for the reactions from Uther, Aurelius, and Emrys at that comment.
Well, you're gonna get no reaction from Emrys at all. However, Uther is the kind of person. He kind of cocks his head at Atlantis, like the sunken city from the stories.
Yep.
We solved a murder mystery.
You guys still have to catch me up on some things. I think we talked about this a little bit, but
I'll fill you in later.
We can get you up on the way to Londinium.
Yeah.
Does that mean that Atlantis isn't sunk? And
No.
It is very much,
Not in so many
very much
words.
sunk.
It is very much sunk.
At least
Our
from
boat
the-
was sunk.
From the human world, it was sunk, but then it was brought over to the other world.
Our boat was sunk by a whale, and so we ended up there instead. We have an issue with boats.
all very confusing.
Sounds like
But it
the
was
same
very
thing
enlightening. It was a great time.
Sounds like the same thing that
They
happened.
make the coolest swords.
Was Erden on the boat?
Yes, we were all on
Yes,
the boat.
obviously.
Well, all of us except this one and Tong. Rada will like pat Tong on the shoulder.
Well, that explains a lot, because I remember we used to go like in like little rowboats on the island, and then we'd knock each other off, and you were always the first one in the water. I think you were doing it intentionally, though. I think you just wanted to go swimming. I'm not sure.
You know, you did ask me earlier about this banjo here, and I did mention it was from Atlantis, so...
Obviously, I had other things on my mind, like, what the hell is a banjo?
I mean, we made a sword there, too.
Yeah. Is this Aurelius or Uther talking?
Is it a nice sword?
It's a wonderful sword.
The bright heart
shiny
is
sword.
The bright heart is
amazing.
Awesome. Is this Uther or Aurelius talking?
Uther.
It's one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, like, unclasps it from his waist and actually, like, hands it to him in the scabbard.
Wow, the balance on this. And he'll, like, pull it out of the scabbard. And... Wow.
And it's got the flaming.
What's his reaction to it suddenly being on fire?
Yeah, I would say it's on fire too.
He just kind of
But it looks like it's on fire.
looks at the sword, and then he looks at you, and he's just... You just can't go for anything normal, can you?
Well, see, it does...
I thought it was very thoughtful.
It's pretty cool. I have some more ideas when me and Dea think about reforging it. It'd be pretty cool.
So, what would it take to get me a sword like this without it being on fire?
More iron.
Basically.
Depends depends. Are you going to compensate us for the what was it, magnesium? That'll make it even better.
Adea will like pull some out of her bag that she just has like a ton of this stuff.
Oh yeah, you're like
Yeah, that stuff.
your ball of magnesium.
Yes,
Um,
a lot of it while I was there.
at this point, even Emrys he's trying not to show interest, but he's kind of raised his eyebrows and he's like looking at your ball of magnesium. Because as a druid, he understands the properties of different metals, so he's going mixing them together. And he's like trying to figure out what this would do, like chemically, and so he's just like, huh?
Better make sure it's magnesium.
So does that mean I don't need to compensate you for that magna whatever it is?
Oh no, you will. It's an optional upgrade to make it even better.
Manganese.
Manganese. Yeah, it's not
Manganese,
magnesium.
yes.
It's manganese.
Yeah, there you go. Manganese.
It was one
What
of the two. I can't remember it.
But how does it make it better? I need like details. I need to know why it's worth my time.
Are you familiar with Damascus steel?
Yes. Yes,
Like
yes.
that, but consistent. Amazing. Maybe even a little better.
Huh. Yes.
I've really
Yes.
understood the allure of a pointy object.
We're
Okay.
so
Okay. You're speaking my language here. We'll talk.
Damn it. This is how Excalibur gets created.
All three of us will
Oh
talk.
no. This will not be Excalibur. Caliburnus maybe, but not Excalibur. So Caliburnus is the one that gets
In the sword
right in the
metal
rock.
stone.
Mm-hmm.
because Excalibur's the one that the Lady of the Lake gives him.
Yes, the Lady of the Lake makes that sword.
Yeah, during this conversation about steel, Henry is going to be absent-mindedly kind of just fingering his brass or his tungsten knuckle, just kind of thinking like how making different. I wonder what's as he has no idea that what he has on his hand is also a type of combined metal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
Ern looks at Idea and just like, we are having a conversation before you two have a conversation.
Did I
What, you don't trust me?
say something?
No, I don't trust her.
Oh.
But that's like a half step
Hey.
down from you.
Okay, that's fair. Anyway,
Very black sword, did I not?
totally off topic, but
Is there a sword going to help us with Londinium?
no, but if I have a really fancy sword that's actually built for my hand and built for my weight, it's really good for me and all the fighting that I have to do. My
That
sword
makes-
has taken a beating.
That makes sense. It was really hard in training, trying to figure out how to handle the swords. I think I had to use like a kid. I had to use a training sword because of my size.
I can imagine. I remember those days. I got whacked a lot in the shins. Anyway, so that's the information we have got for you at this point. You can build a plan around that you think might work and then bring it back to me. I don't really care if Aurelius knows what you're doing. It's fine.
This is the communication bit you need to work on.
I'll tell him. He just doesn't have to be there. This isn't his operation. It's
Okay.
my sister. You know what? You're the one who let her get married to him in the first place. I let her do it. My father. Yeah.
I think you didn't go to the wedding then.
Who, Aurelius? Or me? Because I
Whoever-
definitely didn't, because I'm supposed to be dead.
Oh, true.
You didn't have a crow there watching it?
I'm not a druid. I am a perfectly ordinary Romano-Britishman.
So I got that we probably are going to get to make another really awesome sword. I should maybe convince the citizens of Londinium to give my stuff a shot, even though they probably will not like me at first. Or maybe not. Optionally, I should try fixing somebody's shoes at some point, because that wouldn't be that hard. Anything?
Wait, fix it. You can fix my shoes?
Yes?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe
if
I
she
just
knows
need
how
to
to
keep
make
you with
glass.
me. Glass. She knows how to make glass. Who knows how to make glass?
I wouldn't be surprised if she knows how to make glass.
Oh.
Gotta get more. I gotta listen a little bit more to what Katniss our Atlantean friend.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris knows. He could probably teach me.
Chris is
Next time we go see him.
Family.
So while these conversations are going on, Tooth kind of got bored,
And his mom gave us
and
this
he pulls out
really nice.
a jug with some weird clear liquid in it. He doesn't know what it is, but he's gonna drink it. AKA, it's moonshine. That's the alcohol I roll for.
I was about to say, okay, is this moonshine, vodka, water, vinegar?
All
What are we
right.
looking
I
at
need you
here?
to give me. I need you to give me a Constitution save at disadvantage
Hey, let me get
because you are very small, and it is.
Oh
Very good.
no!
I have to admit, I kind of want her to roll bad because I want to see this moonshine knock her tooth on his absolute butt.
Did you just roll what I think you rolled?
I rolled a 10.
Okay, not as bad as I thought. 10, huh?
Yeah.
You're wasted. Like that was it's like straight to the brain, and it burned. You're hiccuping.
Depending on its level of refinement, everyone can smell it immediately.
It's the good stuff.
Yeah. You know what's everyone's passive perception?
Remove my myself.
Rod is 23.
The Deus is 15. Amror is
11.
I am at
That's
13.
Brina.
also 15. They have the same passive perception.
Okay. Everybody who's passive is over 10. You smell that immediately.
I was say, like, I can just imagine like Brina's nose wrinkling, like.
Well, that is one less person capable of contributing to this operation.
Shh. I can contribute all I want. You can't stop me.
Maybe two if we have to restrain him.
He can contribute when he's sober.
I am sober. You can prove nothing.
Dude, I can smell it from here. And I'm a good few feet taller than you.
Ern actually kind of like leans over. Hey, Tooth, can I have a sip of that?
Yeah, buddy, you can have a drink of this.
Awesome.
1 gold. No, I kid. You, my friend, you can have a sip for free.
Aw, thank you.
Amror sees this exchange, draws his sword, and puts it in between Tooth and Aridin. Aridin, you know that we have better things to be doing that are rather critical at the time.
Okay, first of all, 2nd-degree burns.
Alcohol's not going to help with that.
It always helps with pain.
It'll...
And also, when's the next time I'm gonna have this?
The next time Tooth gets bored.
Like it out of his bag?
He hasn't pulled it out before, which means he can't. He has no proof that he can do it again.
He's pulled the trebuchet out multiple times.
At this point, Emrys just stands up and walks out. He's like, we're done.
Goodbye, Mr. Wizard.
We're not making any more progress today.
Tong is
All the
right there
information's been given. This is devolving.
Yeah, Tong is right there with him. She clearly sees that this guy has some qualities of leadership, and is like, okay, if that guy's leaving, I'm leaving.
He's got, epic level druid here, so he just like turns to Tong. Get out while you still can.
Oh, I full intent to.
Just run and never look back.
It wasn't my
That's-
idea to be here in the first place.
See you later.
Me
As
either.
Henry's seen everyone, he's like, well, I guess I would volunteer for either infiltrating the guards or army or standing post outside the city to see if I can watch for the what are they called? The witches on the other side.
In the
The ones that are trying to poison the queen. Can't remember.
Tom just said that waiting outside is going to be very pointless.
It
Very
is. It will be
pointless.
very pointless. Like Ern's still
Then-
kind of like reaching for the.
Very pointless. Then okay,
So
then I
reaching
guess
for that whatever it is, or I'm going to confiscate it.
I
He
have
is like,
never smelled
no.
something
away
so
from-
pure.
No, because she can't
Mhm.
handle it.
Nice.
I'll confiscate it. Aurelius just smacks you through again. You are not taking any of that. I forbid it.
If
Oh, you forbid it. Oh, yes, Dad. Thank you.
Well, I'm willing to help in this operation however I can, though I can't admit to being the most unknown factor in these parts at this point.
Is that Amor?
Yes.
Gorlos will actually stand up. Sorry, Amor. Put my foot down. I need you here.
And that makes perfect sense to me. Although it seems that we're very close to this operation needing to take a day or two delay. And he looks at the bottle of moonshine.
Yes.
I don't know if we have a day or two delayed timeline to
Figure.
take.
This will be very easy to figure out. We can do it tonight and then leave tomorrow.
I was gonna say we're about. Gorlos will speak up at this point. I know we're about a week, maybe a week and a half travel distance from there. But keep in mind that that's like military marching. You're probably gonna be faster than what we've been doing. So my brain is still kind of stuck in that time frame. You've probably got more, probably closer to a week, yes.
But still, the sooner we get there, the sooner we can make good things happen.
Yes.
Ern leans over to Tooth. Just slip it to me later.
Oh, Tooth, you're drunk. So, like, 2 seconds pass, and then you start trying to send it over again because you already forgot what the jar looks like. This is what the jar looks like. Look at this thing. It's as big as my freaking head. This thing is as big as Tooth. How did you even lift it? You had a straw.
So Tooth is riding this
Drinking
mason
moonshine through
jar,
a straw.
jar with a straw sticking out of it. He's just like watching the show.
Tooth, if you take another sip, we're gonna have to do another Constitution save at disadvantage again. And -5 because
At what point is alcohol poisoning going to set in at this point?
Based on his size and the potency of that moonshine, I'm assuming pretty quick. Yesterday,
That's why the
yeah.
Yeah.
As soon
That's
as it
why
showed up
he-
in his bag.
That's why it's gonna be so much. This DC is not gonna be terribly high. Or not gonna be terribly low. It'd be ridiculously hard to pass this. And we gotta make sure that Tooth doesn't die.
Hey, I can cure poisons. That's why I'm asking. Like
Did I
Ern's
hear-
actively watching this.
Did you say something, Megan?
I was like, dude, I need a sandwich now.
Oh, I thought you said 2, and I was like,
No, I didn't very well wrong too.
Start making those death saving throws.
Well, just because I'm pretty sure our cleric is just gonna look at him like, nah, I'm not helping you.
Both of them.
Both of them.
just like, you have brought this upon
It's
yourself.
very hard not to be. Except when it lets her make things.
Party Mom is
All
just
right.
giving the disapproving glare. I'm not angry. I'm just upset.
Lunch, can you pull
Like,
a
I'm not
sandwich
angry.
out of the
I'm
bag?
just disappointed. Like it's the mama
Okay,
rata.
I need
There.
you to roll me a handle animal at disadvantage.
What just happened?
She's trying to get-
lunch.
He's trying to get Lunch to pull a sandwich out of the bag for him.
Oh, okay. So, it's a 14.
Lunch pokes his head out, looks at you. You see his nose, and then he just bolts back in the bag. He's like, "Oh, dude,
Lunch. The snack
You just hear this very indignant, like, no. He's like, I'm not going back out of that bag. You stink.
Traitor.
Rena understood every word.
Oh yeah, he's definitely just like straight up, like, what do you want? Oh, God, what is? Oh, and then just dives back in. Lunch, snackums. No, you stink.
And you get to see Marina erupt in laughter.
Tell me if I want free tooth.
Huh?
Tell me try and reach one for you, tooth.
Oh, would you please?
Well, this is gonna be fun. Okay. I'm gonna need a handle animal from you since he lives in the bag. And he's not going to recognize your hand right away.
Okay. Lauren's mostly just like reaching in to just see if he can grab a sandwich from the bag itself.
Yeah.
Handling, that's so that's a 10.
So you reach in there and you're like, I don't know what that is. And then you feel this pinch and you feel blood and you realize that you have just been bitten by a mouse.
Rabies.
Actually, yeah. Brina, you hear rabies come from the bag.
Hey, do I know what rabies is? I'm assuming that I would know.
Nobody here knows what rabies is. Why Lunch knows what rabies is, I don't know. Because
Good point.
it hasn't been discovered yet.
And Brina's just like,
Look, there was another adventure where he went on with the doctor and he got his rabies shots.
Ern tries to reach past the mouse. They'll just like, this is not the first time. Just keep going.
and Brina's just like,
It's a hand of
Okay,
a friend. A friend for sandwiches.
Can you roll me a percentage die?
Okay. And while Ern's doing this, he'll actually look through the group like, nah, I'm pretty sure I have the at least physical acumen to pull off being a centurion, though I could do the ancient art of busking if necessary.
What?
ancient art of busting?
Busting.
Busking.
You're gonna be this busking?
Busking, I think. It's basically music performers on the street. That's the word for it.
Busking.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go to bars, play music, and listen to the local gossip.
Essentially.
Wouldn't that be better for me to do as I'm a bard?
I mean, you have heard my music, right?
Yes.
I'm still a little jealous.
I do hear I'm jealous. It's just that I feel that I should be so much better because I'm actually a bard, but I'm still proud of Aaron and happy for him, but I'm also
You know what?
remembering the open mic.
You know what really makes me laugh about this group?
Hmm.
You guys all have these very specific classes, but almost none of you are really good at your classes.
Yeah.
Like our bard is really good at being sneaky and not being seen. Our paladin's really good at singing and playing instruments, being personable.
One
We
of our
have a
clerics
cleric.
doesn't like being a cleric.
And our ranger makes a better fighter.
Yeah. We've got Tooth's a rogue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think Tooth might be.
Tooth might actually do his job.
Tooth and
Yeah, he
Tom,
might.
too.
I think Henry, Tooth, and Rod are the ones that actually stick more to their class.
Their class, yeah.
Well, and Tom. Like, I think they fit their
Yeah.
classes better. But yeah, then there's the rest of us where we're just like.
The bard, the bard who's a rogue, the paladin who's a bard, and the cleric who doesn't want to be anybody.
Yes.
I was just trying to think of what it would be for Henry, and I was like, oh, if he
Cleric who's
pretended to be a
craftsman and the
sorcerer.
ranger who's a fighter.
Yeah, the ranger who's a fighter.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was trying to think of earlier, like what our party roles were, and the only thing that I could come up with was that Tong is DPS and Rada is a tank. Like off.
Also, Amror. Amror can't do damage for anything, but he can take a few hits.
Yeah.
I feel you remember how you were asking about that meme about which we would be in the part, like
Yeah.
which party members would be which in that bottom one. The only one that I can think of with any definitive answer is that the cowboy is Tooth.
Yeehaw!
Jedediah.
For some reason, I thought that Brina would be Sacagawea. I don't know why.
Especially with his little straw.
But Gay is
right
that
there.
person who's looting the chest while everybody else is still fighting.
Yeah, looking for more.
Now we gotta
more
make an outfit of Tooth and a cowboy outfit.
Yep.
Cowboy, leprechaun.
His little
Now
chaps.
we have Tooth as a cowboy. Oh my
A
god!
leprechaun dressed in a cowboy outfit. AI will have a field day with that, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, what was your percentage roll?
79.
Yeah.
79.
You were 10 off from being nice.
So you managed to close your hand around something and you pull it out and it is a 6-inch crystal lens.
Wow. That's a.
Well, hey, that's where that's been.
You were looking for this?
Like half your size.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Okay,
makes
well,
the sparklies bigger.
it's like Erden tries to like look through it, like, what the heck is happening?
Because it's like a 6-inch crystal lens, what I'm picturing is that it's actually just a 6-inch piece of transparent quartz. And so when you look through it, you get 6 different faces. So it's almost like a kaleidoscope.
Huh, that is really weird. Okay. I don't know, like I had to do is like, okay, let's. And he like wipes the blood on his clothes, just like, all right, let's try this again.
As far as
Percentage dice.
I don't know if I'd make a good merchant. I don't really know what I'd be selling. I could try and be a storyteller. Oh my gosh! What the heck? No! Give me your phone!
We'll post shortly.
Well, Henry's gonna see this devolving into
Yeah, let's post that
madness
one.
and chaos, and he knows where this is going, so he's going to partake of the alcohol and lose himself into the evening. I gotta get off.
Well, do me a favor, give me a quick Constitution save.
Oh, please be low. Please be low.
Now what?
Modified 16. And the other one's a modified 19, so I guess 16. I have a pretty high constitution.
Oh, you were just doing a straight roll. You're not
Oh.
nearly as small as Tooth.
Oh, no. Okay, 16 is the
So-
first one.
Okay. So you've got a nice buzz going.
Mm. And with that, I bid adieu.
Alright.
And Henry
Good night,
stands
Hannah.
up. He's like, and with
Adieu.
this, I bid adieu. See you guys tomorrow. And he's
Goodbye,
gonna
friends.
put a gold coin to Tooth as he's walking out.
Nice.
Alright,
It's gonna hit him in the face because he can't catch. He's like, I almost had it.
I was gonna say, I could go.
I just
to-
picture you like it hits you in the face, but your hands are like way over here. I almost had it.
Yeah, pretty much.
where he's like a mile away from it. Yeah.
But he's
Or
gonna
kind
sit
of
there.
see how things are going, and
Better.
believe we will have some delays. He'll look at Gorlois, and briefly apologize both for if he had been a little out of line in some of his speaking with, Uther and Aurelius, but also just for his previous companions, and cite their influence on both.
You do not have to apologize. I have been in the army for a very long time. I know what happens. This is not unusual at all. At least your friends are entertaining.
Oh, thank you. And Ern pulls out whatever a 40
Oh,
gives
you're
him.
so.
I see we're going for lower rolls here.
You have a point. He will
It's a
bow.
troll's. It is a troll's hand mounted on a 3-foot rod. It will grasp objects or make a fist.
So it's like
Yeah.
one of those little grabby tools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The D&D troll version.
You found it in the Otherworld forest near your home, gripping a tree branch.
So I can get stuff on the top shelf. That's very handy. Cause it's a hand.
Okay, so, pardon me, it's been quite a while, and I don't exactly recall the names. Is your domain along the way to Londinium from here, Golois?
No, I'm down south.
Because I was going to offer, if it was all along the way, that we could bring a message for you to your wife.
Oh, I appreciate that, but that's okay. I'm a wind druid, so we speak quite frequently, actually.
That's so nice. Is she pretty?
You've met her, little one.
Glad that you're able to talk to her a lot more. As far as the plan goes, since I'm trying to distance myself from whatever the heck is going on over there, I don't think I'd make a terribly good merchant, but I might be able to do well as a servant. Probably with the right glamour, I think. But at the same time, I'm wondering if maybe that wouldn't be the best because the brownies. But at the same time, maybe they'd talk to me, though the brownies here didn't seem to approve of me much. I'm not sure where I can best help, but I want to be of help.
You might want to
mean-
avoid the brownies down there, but I believe in you, Brina.
Thank you, Aaron.
Also, that's a 96 on my next
They
probability
steal
roll.
your honey. They're mean. They steal your honey.
You suddenly hear this bzzz, and you pull out a dozen wasps in a round wire cage with a handle. The wires are small enough that they can't get out, but if you're not careful, their little stinger could probably get out and get you.
Oh my goodness.
Like, Ern immediately goes for the handle, is just like, lifts it up, just tries to, like, slowly, just like, what is this?
Doesn't matter, put it
There.
back in the bag.
They're my attack friends. They have the ouchie butt.
Aaron just like slowly pushes it back in, like, okay.
You hear it. Bernice, you hear, please don't put them back, please don't put them back. I don't like them, they don't like me, please don't put them back.
I have a feeling I'm not able to say anything before he actually puts them back in the bag because I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to save the wasps. They really weren't happy in there. Dude, you really should just let them
That might
go.
be the point. Get them angry.
Maybe I can make them.
Emerald at this point will have bowed once again, and with Gorlois' leave, will probably return to his men in his tent.
Gorlos will head out with you because he has no reason to stay there. Aurelius is going to stand up at that point. He's going to be like, okay, you figure out your plan. Uther, if for some godforsaken reason you decide to partake in whatever that shit is, please do not come find me tonight. I am not babysitting you.
I'm going to follow Amor, Gorlois, and Aurelius because I'm like, well, you guys know what I want to do with it. I'm going this way.
Thea will kind of look around at what has started to go on, and she's like, I'm gonna go. Maybe go work on my project again. I'm not staying.
No, this is
very
important.
clear that the
This is
meeting
important.
is over, so I think
Could you?
everyone that's sober is leaving.
All the sensible and sober people are leaving.
I dare wait before you go. Could you make a little place where I can put my pointy buddies on the outside of my pack? So then maybe they're a bit happier.
Do I actually am I still there when he says that? Because part of me wants to applaud him.
Thea's not quite sure
I don't
how
think
to make
so.
sense what he's saying, and she just keeps walking.
Yeah, like if Idea turns back at all, Ern will like just shake his head violently no, while bringing the moonshine up to him like there's nobody else around. Also, do not involve yourself with this, please.
For your sanity. Alright. Tonight you got your moonshine. I'm gonna need a constitution save from you too.
Yay. Finally.
Oh wait, it's the parents have left the building.
Yeah.
It's true.
Constitution save?
Uh-huh.
All
Oh, that's
parents
a
and
24.
political leaders have left the building.
Of course it is. This has got a kick to it. It is nothing but alcohol.
Oh my gosh. Like Ern sort of like spits out part of it, like, holy cow, that's a lot.
Alright, now you've got me interested. Let me see.
No, don't do that.
No.
I'm just gonna taste. I'm not gonna swallow. Just gonna. And like he goes to take a sip and then like inhales the fumes and he's like, "Oh God, is there anything in there but alcohol?"
No.
I don't know.
I got. Oh, jeez. Nope. I think I'm good. I think I'm.
Yeah, no, you're definitely gonna wanna. You're gonna want to find something else.
I think I'm getting a buzz just from the fumes.
Can I use like the lay on hands effect to like at least mitigate part of this for him? Just like
Yeah.
Right. I do that kind of just like slapping his arm on the side, like, okay, here. This is more medicine than anything else. If you come back with something else, then it'll be better.
No.
But
I need like a real drink, ale or something. That's vile. What is wrong?
I got you. Hold on.
Has to be whiskey.
I got you because. So the first time he goes in there, does not pull out ale. Second time he goes in there, he pulls out something. He thinks it's ale.
Megan.
Yeah.
If you have pulled it out of your bag before, you don't need to roll. It'll just be there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, we know it's in there.
Well, I was mostly doing it because I realized that Tooth is drunk. And so
instead, because he's drunk, go ahead and do the percentage die roll instead to see if he can even manage to grasp the right thing.
Just before Tooth does that, Ern tries to reach one more time into the bag, and I actually rolled a 1.
I rolled a 63.
So we got okay. So Erden, you pull out a broadsword. It's plain, but it seems to be quality stuff. There's some sort of unknown script that runs along the inner side of the scabbard.
And Dad has already left the building.
And it is not tooth-sized either. Like, we're talking a human-sized broadsword in this bag.
I was gonna say, bring it to our linguist.
And then
Where'd you say the script was?
Unknown.
that it was unknown. You can try and read it if you want to. Hang on, just 1 second. Let me go grab something from the other room.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Bring it to the linguist.
I'm pretty sure he just drew out a sword that doesn't even exist yet.
No, I was asking where it was written. Like, was it on the
Scabbard.
like the scabbard?
Scabbard.
Thank you.
Are you gonna go get her? No? Okay.
Ryder.
Here he comes, he is Chunky Man.
Are you coming?
Yep, I'm pretty sure the Tooth we just once again drew something that doesn't exist yet out of Tooth's bag, and Nadea's not even here to look at it.
No, shame she left.
Aaron just pulled out like Caliburn or something.
Okay, actually, no. So go ahead and give me a knowledge check.
Okay.
We actually have a thing for scripts called the cipher script.
That is on the floor. I am not counting that. Okay, knowledge, that's intelligence, so...
Like has just a little bit of crazy look in his eye. That
Modified 20.
That is Saxon script.
Okay.
And it says property of Wayland the blacksmith. You know this name. Wayland the blacksmith made Maimung, the famous sword held by Beowulf. You are currently holding Beowulf's sword.
Okay, Erden, you are now Beowulf at this point. Because you have his armor.
Yes, I do. I was about to say, am I going to start getting Beowulf collectibles now? It's like, this is the side quest I've been given.
I won that in a bet.
You won this priceless artifact of legend in a bet?
Yes. The guy who bet it wasn't smart. Because he thought he could out-trick me. I showed
Ern sets the broadsword down, puts a stopper in the alcohol, and just kind of puts it back in the bag. Like, okay, I need you to be sober in at least half a day so that we can talk about this more.
You assume that I am sober at some point. What?
Well, more sober than you are now, okay? Because this even I don't realize how powerful this is. I have no idea what this does. If it does anything, like this armor.
Luther kind of, he's looking over your shoulder. He goes, "Is that Saxon?"
Yep.
So when you say
Property-
priceless artifact, who did this belong to?
It's
A dragon's
Waylon
lair.
and Beowulf.
I'm sorry, did you say Beowulf?
Yep.
Like the epic hero Beowulf?
Yes, the epic hero who slayed a dragon and also dealt with Grendel and his mom. Yes.
This armor I'm wearing is his too.
It's not even going to mention that at this point. It's like, he's too focused on the story right now.
Okay. I want to be surprised that this was a real person, but I've met gods, so I'm stopping. I'm not as surprised as I feel like I normally would have been.
Yeah, everything stops becoming surprising once you meet more than 5 gods.
Fronting.
I've only met 2. I feel like I'm missing something here.
Don't worry about it. Can I keep this just to find out what's special about it or something?
Okay, but if you find something that I like, I'll trade you for it.
Okay.
Because it goes with your other shinies. It's a matching set.
I suppose it has to be the sword that's not broken.
That is true. It does, yeah.
Of the 2 Beowulf swords, it has to be the one that's not broken.
Goes with your other shinies. It's a matching set. I know he's drunk, but I did not follow that at all.
The armor.
The armor. Don't tell me that's Beowulf's too.
Yeah, oddly enough, I thought both the armor and the sword was melted, yet both aren't. Ern unsheaths the sword to see if it's the broken one or not.
It is not.
Maybe they're replicas?
No, I got the other one in there somewhere. Because I went off the same guy. He's really bad.
Are you sure he wasn't just trying to get rid of them because he stole them?
I don't know. He was a son, someone with money, and he was an arrogant SOB who dishonored me. I actually may have stolen those.
Okay. Tooth?
Heritage points.
Oh, you said you rolled a 63.
Yes.
I almost forgot about yours. You have pulled out a flint and steel filer starter set.
No, that's not
That is
it.
not something we want around the outlaw.
No, okay. 21. They stick it back in the bag and start searching around.
Tooth, have you ever actually stolen a sandwich to put in here?
Are you kidding me?
What?
A 5-gallon cask of Usk brandy.
I got some. This one smells good. This is good stuff here.
Are you sure? He takes it. Oh. Yeah, let me. Takes a sip. Oh yeah. This is the good stuff. This is proper alcohol.
Ern pulls out like the crushed red single cup he still has, just like, yeah, this is pretty good actually. It's a lot better than the. I can only describe it as like, I feel like it would purify things. Like
Why do I have a feeling that moonshine would peel paint, even though we don't know what that comment would mean?
I mean, we could test it. Where's that bite you just got?
Ern already used some of his lay on hands to heal that. It's like, it was nothing.
I know I put a sandwich in there. Unless Lunch ate it.
You might want to ask
Okay,
Lunch about that.
can you give me another Constitution save?
Yeah. Am I doing this? It's still doing it at disadvantage?
Yes, and a -5.
It's a 1. I rolled a 6.
You're like, I know I threw it in here unless Lunch ate it. And then you don't hear anything for a moment, and then suddenly you hear as he has fallen asleep in his bag. Lunch squeaks and leaps out of the bag. Brina, you're hearing, God, your breath smells. Why did you do that? You don't fit in here. You don't belong in here. Get out of my bag. And you guys are just hearing a bunch of squeaks, but you're seeing him waving his little paws in the air, and he's really agitated.
I was gonna say, like, I've already left the tent, but is Lunch speaking loud enough that I would actually be able to pick up a couple things and, like, oh no.
Probably not at this point. I forgot you weren't there. You guys are just hearing very agitated squeaks and watching him wave his little paws, and then he's actually going to dash out of the tent because he's mad now. And you know what?
Stay with me.
Oh no. I was going to say he's going to go look for people that, he trusts, but he rolled a nat 1, so he's not going to find anybody. He is just going wherever. Like,
he's working on his degree.
He found Thunderclap of all beings.
That would be great because Thunderclap is not technically a real animal, so Thunderclap can't understand a word he's saying. He can't understand a word Thunderclap's saying.
Also, I could have I could roll a d20 for Gauche since he's an owl, and Tong would likely have him out hunting at this point.
Oh dear goodness.
No.
Yeah, you know what? We got chaos. Go for it.
Yeah, that's not a good roll. That's a natural 5.
Obvious too.
To be fair, Lunch probably got a little drunk off of my breath.
Alright, Tooth, I think that's it for you. Like, Ern will take the bag and just, like, put it in his pocket, like, pay up Tooth, like, alright, we're gonna... You need to be watched by someone who's...
He has the sandwich in his mouth.
Oh, you did have that sandwich. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm still watching you because I'm more sober.
You will also notice that there are, in fact, little bites taken out that look about mouse-sized.
And you might want to steal more sandwiches later.
That is unfortunate.
So do you want to find one of our more magically inclined people and figure out what the hell is going on with this thing? That's Uther.
Yeah, we're gonna go bother Emrys because...
Yes.
So
do you want to do the the arrogance, or do you want to do the we definitely didn't do it?
Oh, we definitely didn't do it.
Yeah.
I will also say that Tooth starts eating the sandwich in his sleep.
But dude. Leprechauns, they're weird.
Yeah, even I've never seen him like this. I wonder if something's going on with him.
He's got too much of that rabbit energy.
It's been a while. He hasn't stolen anything. Kind of got burned, and
He's got the itch.
Got the itch.
We need to let him loose in a populated area.
We're going to Londinium. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll deal with it.
What I love is how you're talking about Tooth. It sounds like you're talking about an animal.
Yes.
Like you're talking about a pet is what it sounds like. Like, yeah, he's never been like this. I don't know what's wrong with him. We just need to let him loose in a populated area and he'll be fine. It's like
He's outside of his natural habitat.
he's outside of natural habitat. We need to make sure that we need to like get him some more toys and stuff like that, and maybe take him to the vet or something like that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
sounds like a pet. It's hilarious.
As long as he's not kicking children in this.
Right.
We don't
Okay.
kick
Kick?
children.
No, we don't kick children. We bite
So-
them really, really hard.
It does
No
not take
biting.
you long to find Emrys. He just sort of picked a spot kind of in camp. He has built himself a campfire. And he seems to be roasting something over a spit. Like, he has just kind of conjured up all kinds of stuff that the rest of camp didn't have. And he's just sort of enjoying himself. And you can see as you're approaching and you two are talking, you can see his shoulders stiffen, like
And then
like
like
he hears you coming.
yeah, and then Ern's probably like very used to seeing this, and it's like when it's in reasonable amount of earshot, Ern just says, "Emrys," like in that we screwed up voice.
What did you do?
If you took a sip of that alcohol, that is on your own head.
No,
I'm not-
it's something completely different.
You could just see like his shoulders sag in like resignment. Just what?
The leprechaun had this sword, and we don't know what to do about it.
The leprechaun had a. Why would I have anything to do with it? Ask Uther. He's the weapons master. You're right. Normally I am. But you see, this weapon has Saxon writing on it. Then why are you coming to me? That idiot there can read Saxon.
Yeah, it's what's written on it that concerns us. Could you use your magic to figure it out?
You see him just slowly turn around as you guys like are approaching and kind of coming around. You want me to see if there's magic on it.
I want
Actually, this has got to be the weird, one of the weirder sights you've seen of like, or just like approaching, like holding his sword and like carrying Tooth under his arm.
Sword in one hand, tooth in the other.
Yeah.
You're carrying Tooth like a football.
Mm.
Make sure you get some water into his system before he dies of alcohol poisoning. Fine, let me see the sword. And he kind of grabs it roughly from you. And then he definitely like beg pardon? Is this some sort of joke? Are you trying to pull my leg? Did you do this? Did you make this? Trying to make fun of me?
You do realize that didn't work the last 3 times. Why would we do it again?
I want to.
Because you've tried it 3 other times. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You keep doing the same one. Hmm.
Why is it? How could it be a joke?
Well, I don't know. You carve whatever you want into a random broadsword you found in a ditch somewhere. Or maybe that you pulled off of a Saxon from that camp last night.
I was busy burning.
And what's your excuse? I was trying to keep him from burning. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. He's like running his hands over it, and you can see that he's examining it. Okay. Mm,
Ooh.
I am not sensing any magic on this. It's just a broadsword. Though it has been reforged. And he'll like spin it around and handle that to you.
Huh.
It is broken.
It
Or
is
maybe
the
it's
broken.
Hey,
As far
Judith,
as
did
I
you
can-
hear that? It's the broken one.
Vesta.
I doubt it. The metals used were from the Saxon homeland.
Huh. Is actually what's the sword made of? Just iron or
Yeah.
well, I already have a iron sword.
Give it to
Well,
one
I
of your
imagine
other
that one will.
It-
I
it-
imagine that one will sell for a lot of money if you really want to get rid of it.
What would I use the money for?
It's money. Find a use for it. Buy food. I don't know. Build a homeless shelter.
Samers, this is why we come to you for all the smart ideas.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I'll do. I'll build a homeless shelter.
Gunther just kind of cocks his head. Cornish hen. You're not getting any. It's my meal. Back off. Wow, harsh. I was just asking. Right. I think we're getting everything we're gonna get out of him.
Thanks, Amris. You're the
Yeah.
best.
He just grunts.
There
that
are
was
two
better
other
than
people that you
expected.
could take that sword to. Both of whom
Yeah,
would
Ern's-
appreciate it.
Yeah, Ern's like thinking about going to a day, and I was like, did you need to do something or
No. Though should I'm gonna keep this brandy. I should probably go find Aurelius and apologize to him.
yeah, it's a good idea.
And maybe I can get him to drink some of this brandy so he'll chill out.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh, he's a sucker for brandy. I'll get him. He spent way too much time in Ireland.
Oh.
In Airy. Yeah. Brandy and whiskey, soft spots. We'll be fine.
Just try not to push the envelope too far this time.
Okay. Those are my best.
I believe in you. You'll be a great king yet.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody believes in me.
I know, right? Why doesn't anybody else believe in you?
Everybody else is sour. Like whiskey.
Whiskey sour lemonade.
Yeah, that's true.
Muttering drinks in his sleep.
We'll figure out what we're doing by tomorrow.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't find the endless
Appreciate it.
bottle of whiskey in his sleep.
Okay. It is 10 o'clock though. So I'm gonna call it here. We'll probably start off the next time with Erden going to Ideo with the sword.
Yes.
Oh, my phone is going off. Where is my phone?
Yeah, I have 3 swords. What can we do?